And this is PSL 18. Yeah, get a little bit closer to your mic there.
I'm as close as I can get right now without it going into my mouth.
Perfect.
Okay.
That's how I do it.
Okay, so where are we gonna begin with this? Okay, first off, do you like Twilight?
Yes and no.
Okay, well I personally think it's a god awful series.
It's god awful, but at the same time, I like things that go off the main canon sometimes. And this is one of the things I like, because I really never liked the vampire stuff. You
So you're
know?
basically saying it's a guilty pleasure.
Yes.
Okay, well, I just think that it is basically just a giant fan fiction about, a girl's ultimate fantasy, basically having sex with a vampire.
Welcome to Operation Mindfuck.
What was that?
Welcome to Operation Mindfuck.
Oh yeah, you got a point there. Actually, okay, I'm probably just gonna go off topic, but you know, I don't know what the main character's name is, but she basically wants to bang a
Bella.
vampire, right?
Uh, yeah, so to speak.
So here's my little theory that's going on here. She's what, 17?
Uh, yes, I believe.
Okay, now how old's that vampire that she likes?
Uh, like 100 and something. I can't remember.
Like 100 or something. So first off, if she wants to have sex with an older person and she's underage, that makes it pedophilia. Not to mention that since vampires are dead, if she wants to bang a dead person, undead, but that still makes it necrophilia. So it's kind of, wrong. But that's just my little theory that's going on here. But I get yelled at for that theory by all the Twilight. Every single girl in my grade is reading Twilight right now.
Yeah.
And I told them that theory, and I think they actually agree. But they said, well, it doesn't matter because it's love, but it's still wrong.
It's wrong on so many levels. Like, I'll be the first one to tell you that. And I've read all the books. I own all the books. But I'm not a Twilight freak where I'm like, oh yeah, Twilight, man, man. No, no, no. No. It was poorly written. I like books that have a good storyline and it's really detailed, which this was. So, that's what really interests me. And plus, like I said before about the main canon thing.
Uh-huh. Um, now what was I talking about? Okay, let's start off from the beginning. How about just introduce the first book a little bit, kind of sum it up.
I saw this on 4chan. Bella, I love you, but I'm dangerous. 250 pages later, Bella, I still love you, but I'm dangerous.
Wow. Hey, well, that sounds exciting. But I actually, one day when I was really bored, I picked up this random girl's Twilight book, read the first page, and shut it. Because it looked like a freaking 15-year-old wrote it.
Oh yeah, it's poorly written, which is that's why I think so many people nowadays like it because everybody's stupider nowadays, and everybody's like, oh, I can actually understand this. Now let me pick up this Einstein book. Yes, I've read like 2 books from Einstein. I'm a science nerd. Everybody knows this by now.
Yeah. But I think it's kind of sad because this person's actually dumbing down our teenage society more than it already is now. Because,
Raising kids to believe vampires sparkle.
yeah.
No, no. I wanna show you what happens to me in the sunlight. When I was reading that, I was just hoping like he started screaming bloody murder, and like he started symboling and everything.
Yeah. Well, that leads to another point. But what's her name? Stephanie Myers? Stephanie Meyer?
Yeah, Stephanie Meyer, I think.
Okay, well, she has the theory going on that she can just go out and change the way people look at vampires. And I'm gonna say hell no to that one. Because we were introduced to vampires with Dracula, basically, as a vicious killer who needs to kill anyone he sees for their blood, and that's it. I asked people about Twilight. I'm asked, how are the vampires in this book? How, do they have fangs? Oh, they don't have fangs. And what? Is that true?
You know what? I've read all the books at least a few times. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't think it was that bad. It wasn't one of the worst books I've ever read, but it really never got into detail that I can remember about their team.
Because according to this one random fangirl I asked, she said
Boy,
that.
and girls.
Tell me about it. The whole school's full of them. But she said that they have fangs, but they kind of like, I don't know, retract or something. And that's just stupid. Another thing about the vampires in this book is that they can go out and walk around in the daylight.
No. As long as it's cloudy out, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, if it's cloudy, of course. So it's just cloudy the entire story.
Pretty much rainy,
That's
snowy. So,
yeah, freak weather right there.
so I mean, in that sense, it's kind of believable. I mean, I bet you Dracula can walk out at 12 p.m. in the day as long as it's rainy.
Yeah. Um. Okay. Next thing about them is, what is it? Oh, I guess the way you have to kill a vampire. We're gonna jump back to the well, I think it was the late 1800s, something like that, when Dracula was first written. And in order to kill a vampire, you had to take a wooden stake and jam it into its heart, and on some levels even decapitate its head. Well, people are telling me nowadays that only a vampire can kill another vampire by tearing them to shreds, and then you gotta burn their ribs, their ripples,
No, they're parts.
their things. And that's just making things complicated.
Well, I mean, there, even in vampire folklore, um, like they always would rip off the parts and burn them. So she did get that from there.
So, that's a cool thing though, because if you were just left with humans to kill vampires, I mean, you got Van Helsing, who's a pretty awesome monster hunter, but what about that in Twilight? That you just have to wait. You're being chased by a vampire.
Twilight don't have shit on Van Helsing. Van Helsing is ownage.
Yeah, if they've already ruined so many things about monsters, but they can't mess with Van Helsing.
Okay, I will give the book this. Oh, spoiler. Spoilers, blah blah blah. The whole ordeal. She creates kind of like a new thing called shapeshifters. It's a long story, but basically, the werewolves in there aren't technically werewolves. They're technically just shapeshift into wolves.
Okay.
Yeah, and there are real werewolves, but they never get into detail with the whole full moon thing and everything. They just tell like random backstory for no real reason.
Now, let me guess. They're enemies at first, the vampires and the werewolves, but in the end, they're all happy, friend-like.
No, not really, but.
Oh, thank God. You can't. The natural order is vampires hate werewolves.
And vice versa. And versa for that matter.
Yeah, really. And,
really, the only thing is that one of the main, the main werewolf shapeshifter, if you will, falls in love with a half vampire, half it's a real long story to get into, but I'm just gonna sum it up. Half vampire, half human thing, and yeah.
How did that happen?
It's called
Please.
It's called imprinting, which is basically love at first sight. It's a bit like old, which is that.
That's so cute.
You know what? That's what just made me love the book, because it's true love bullshit.
Oh, of course. So you're saying it's not even horror. It's just a giant lovey-dovey gooey book for.
Yeah.
Oh God. No.
Chicken noodle soup for the teen soul. What?
Wow. Okay. Is there anything else I need to complain about the vampires in this book?
Oh.
Okay. I heard something about their eyes or something.
Yeah. Oh, okay. If a vampire drinks blood, blah blah blah, they have red eyes. Red eyes. Get clear eyes.
Oh, that's a pun, I
But
Don't think
but
it's-
if they're the vegetarian vampire, which I kind of like them at the same time, I'm like, no, no. Um, which they drink animals' blood. And me being a vegetarian, I'm like, no.
You just reminded me of something I need to talk about.
Alright, let me just sum this up real quick.
Okay.
So, and then their eyes turn amber, and you can say what you need to say in part two. See you later.
Okay, fine. I'll wait till then. You wait. You just wait.
So, aren't you gonna say your goodbyes? See, my catchphrase is "see you then."
Oh, I don't really have a catchphrase.
You gotta have a catchphrase. Hurry up, hurry up.
You know what? Give me a minute to think about that, and
See you in part two.
yeah, see you.